My name is Bob Thomas and I do the financial aid here at Eastland-Fairfield Career and Technical Schools. I wanted to give a little bit of information about the concerns that some people have about financial aid. The most important thing for most people is how am I going to pay for school, and what we like to have people realize that is that this is not a difficult process, that it's a fairly simple thing. Anybody who lives in the country can actually apply for federal student aid. The first step is you file for a PIN number, which is your personal identification number. You're going to use that as a signature when you do the second step, which is to file for the free application for federal student aid. The PIN number is a simple process. You just give them your name, social security number, and your date of birth, and they'll give you a 4-digit code that's the same as a code that you would get at an ATM machine. When you go to fill out your information to request federal student aid, you go to www.fafsa.ed.gov. FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Any student can go to apply that. What's going to be required when you get there is some financial information that most students and their parents can get from the previous year's income tax return. And federal student aid will then process something called a student aid report and send it to a school like ours. A financial aid representative then will determine how much, or if you're eligible for a federal Pell Grant, and how much you might like to borrow as a federal student loan to help pay for your schooling. When students are going to apply for federal student loans, the two things that they must do is go to another website and they apply for the Master Promissory Note, and they also have to take some entrance counseling exams there. The Master Promissory Note is also a fairly simple document. It's going to require names and addresses of the students, and also for two people that we refer to as references. They're not co-signers to the loan that the student is taking out. And really the reason that the federal student aid people want to have that is that if the student moves between the time they graduate and it's time to begin repayment of their loans, they want to have at least two people that they can call and say, hey, do you know where that student has moved to? The Master Promissory Note is then filed and kept with the student, so when we create a loan for the student, they match up and everything moves fairly smoothly. The entrance counseling is a simple quiz that students must take so that the federal student aid people can make sure that the student understands the rights and obligations of taking out federal student loans. We want our students to understand that borrowing money to go to school is a simple process, but it's also a right that they have to honor and in order for future students to be able to take out student loans. Once students are completed with have completed their classes and have moved on in life, if they want to check their own accounts in federal student aid, they can go to another website. It's the National Student Loan Data System. Using the PIN number that they've received when they filed their FAFSAs, they can go and check and see, for example, the loans that they've taken out in the past years, the grants monies that they've taken out in the past years. They can see, because there is a lifetime maximum that people can borrow from federal student aid, and they can go and check that all. And that's pretty much it. It's a fairly simple process. Students get a PIN, they go and file a FAFSA, they fill out a Master Promissory Note, and they do some entrance counseling. And from that point, the school can create student loans for them, and we hope they come and they honor their commitment for their student loans. It helps not only them, but it helps future students also receive that right.